like it's a rolling sort of, it's a romance language. It's supposed to sound pretty or something.
Yeah.
I want to
Well,
be left alone.
I guess it is kind of a bit of a talent that I can adapt to different language, because speaking is one thing, but also really having like the pronunciation. For example, there's I go to a French class at my in my company, and we have like a German guy there who's from Germany, and he just sounds so German while talking French. It's unbelievable. It's so hilarious because he just pronounces it in this German fashion, like je achète une baguette, for example.
Like, I could never see a German guy doing like a bouquet, or it's like like good night. It's like gute Nacht.
Yeah, for example, yeah, a bouquet, he would say bucket. Like it's
Bucket.
okay. I quickly have to take a look at the quest I have. Let's see. One is about kicking ass. Jack keeps complaining about two and several. Okay, so I can do something productive on this stream, just to make sure about this. I have to go kick ass, so that's a good idea. Awesome. Oh no, is that a jaguar? Like, that looks like a leopard to me. Like the monster that's just attacking me. We'll see in 30 seconds because of Twitch delay. Yeah, what? Speaking of Twitch, are you still more convinced by Twitch than Hitbox? Because I heard many voices that started to prefer Hitbox over Twitch.
Well, just before I get to that, I will say that the developers of Gothic completely dropped the ball there on that kicking ass quest, because they did not include a piece of bubblegum as a quest item. Just gonna put that out there. Now, Twitch versus Hitbox, this is an interesting... Like, I'm gonna end up taking over your goddamn show if I don't shut up at some point here.
Well, it was a question I asked, so it's
Yeah, you posed it.
Yeah, because I opened Pandora's box, so I have to deal with it now.
Well, I did say, the Suds brand of bullshit can get talkative at times, and I'm on my second monster right now, which is probably not helping very much, but...
Oh, so is that because of the monster that you're so talky, or is that just... No, I think on stream you're also very worried. Yeah, for example, as a streamer, you have to be a bit more on the, I wouldn't say jumpy side, but just, well, entertaining. Just less mellow than, for example, me. But okay, back to the question, actually.
Well, I do really good on these situations because, one, I'm with someone that I've followed for a long time, and I really enjoy his content. I've been watching you since the days where I was that random YouTube guy who watches YouTube on his PSP. Do you remember that conversation way back then?
Which one?
I was asking you to take something, I think it was, I don't know, something in the header of your videos or something like that, was making, back then my computer was too shitty to watch YouTube because Flash is a horrible, horrible platform for doing video. And I was watching it on my PSP where I could actually, watch it at a decent frame rate. And it's like, you said something to me like, I cannot do all my videos just because for some random guy on YouTube. But no, it was a good conversation. It sounded like that was the German in you speaking.
Who you're talking to. Now, will you kindly get down
But
to work?
more to the actual subject at hand. Yeah, on my stream, I do it a lot solo, and I think it's probably actually a better, more entertaining when I do it with someone else, just because it takes me out of the game so much. Like, I am a tunneler when I game, and it's I got a really huge competitive drive, even if it's just bullshitting around in pubs. Like, I've always been that type of guy who's play within your skill level, but make a real effort. Like, if you're bad at the game, no problem, just try and help your team as best you can. And TF2's gotten this really, really bad. It's gotten this really bad rep in that Valve is putting out a lot of shit, like literally shit, and turning it into a sandbox game where people don't actually play the game. They pursue their own objectives, and it's contrary to the team, and it makes the game unfun because I have to, usually when you watch my stream, you'll watch me fighting versus 8 people. Usually I'll have a medic on me, and it'll be me versus 8 people. I'll turn around, there'll be no one there. We'll be fighting for an objective. There'll be no one there. And I get salty, and it's half and half. It's not like I don't go to bed mad about TF2. Don't get me wrong, but it's how I vent and how I let all the steam out, and I just blab. Some people like it, some people don't. But taking it from Twitch to Hitbox, it's really hard because Twitch is trying to do well, but they've let themselves be bought by Amazon.
Yeah,
now they're officially corporationized.
Yeah, I heard that since then, for example, there's a lot of problems with copyright, with music copyright.
Yeah, and this is a problem because, for one, copyright is a law, and it's an idea. So, to mute VODs and then not actually take any issue with the people streaming live makes no sense whatsoever. It's like saying, well, it's okay for someone to watch illegal porn so long as it's not being recorded live. It's like...
Okay, I'm sorry, I quickly have to... You have to see how I finish him off. And it says he's just unconscious. You have to see that for yourself, because I don't think somebody's unconscious if I finish him off like that.
Well, he certainly... Why is he getting up after that?
Yeah, I was about to say, he's unconscious while I just completely sheath my sword through his fucking body. Oh well, yeah, just a flesh wound. Oh well. And he's full health again. That's also one thing. He's full health again.
You just gave that man a gastric bypass surgery, and he's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he was barely down. He was lying down for 5 seconds, then he just got up again and oh well, go back to the tower.
Hail Lee and well met, adventurer. Thanks for the gastric bypass. Oh, my health is back to full, so it must have just been all in good fun.
Yeah, it was just.
You were using the plastic sword.
Exactly.
I need a lockpick.
In previous Gothic games.
The barrel rolls away randomly. What the hell's with the barrel?
Yeah, that's physics. That's also with the scout. That's also with with the thing. It was the exact same thing with skulls. Constantly were in this game there were already 3 skulls just rolling towards me for no reason whatsoever.
It's like an invisible Donkey Kong came up and just is like, I'm throwing that barrel down that hill.
Fuck the fuck off.
It's going down that hill no matter what.
Oh, spare me your talk.
Like the credibility of this game.
I like this game.
All right.
In that it's
Calm down.
I just like I don't know why I like this game. It just
has this kind of cheesiness that is really likable. That's the thing I still like the Piranha Bytes games, because I have this kind of cheesiness to it that I really like. It's just kind of a little bit over the top, but but I'm still not sure whether Piranha Bytes actually tries to be that cheesy or if it just accidentally happens like that.
Oh no! It's this is absolutely this is campy, but you absolutely know that it the creators were not trying to go for campy. They were trying to make something fairly serious. Maybe the voice actors had a little bit of fun with it, but everything it seems so cool. The quests and stuff. There's some humor thrown in there, but as far as the game goes, you're not seeing anything meant to be humorous per se. All these guys are wearing garb that one guy your guy looks like a fucking peasant. He looks like he just came off the damn farm.
I was about to say he was dead. Give him a break, Jesus.
They buried him in that, man. When I go, I sure hope I have something better to wear than that.
Yeah, that's one thing somebody pointed out. They actually looted his gear before they buried him. Oh well, that sword he used to use. It would be a nice sign, to as a symbol to bury him with. Nope, let's just take it with us. Can be sold for good money. Oh, little brother. Yes.
It's interesting. I knew about this game before I knew about Dark Souls, and now, you know, with you describing what's happening in the plot and stuff, it's like, well, I'm seeing where Dark Souls borrowed heavily. You know, coming back from the dead. Gee, I wonder when that happened in Dark Souls. It's like, it's about as common as Duke Nukem saying ass.
Other than guard duty.
Well, it depends. You can stay hollow the whole game if you want to.
Thinking, doesn't it?
Basically, on the other hand, if you played the first game, you're better off just staying undead anyway,
I'll
because
figure you out eventually.
Enjoy that. But
in Dark Souls,
I know
it is like you. I mean, if you die, you just die as an undead, so you can't really say that you revive. But that's just me being, I guess,
don't have the right tools for
picky.
this.
I mean, I think you were talking about something else, or meant something else.
Well, I'm not, like, did they give you an option to be dead, or, like, did they give you the option to come back to actual life? Like, you know how in Morrowind, you know, they give you the options to basically make your own shitty Twilight movie and become a werewolf or a vampire.
In Dark Souls?
No, in Morrowind.
Morrowind. No, I mean, did you mean, like, in this game, do you have the choice, or...?
Yeah, like, in this game, like, are you just, like, dead and then revive, or, like, are you dead, but then have to, like, in Final Fantasy II, whatever it was in Japan, Cecil, you know, goes and becomes, like, a paladin after being a Dark Knight, you know.
Ah, yeah, oh, didn't you see, like, the scene where he died, actually?
No, I'm sort of like, I'm in it, like, with your Gothic stuff, I'm always in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So you didn't, you just joined after a while?
Yeah.
Because that actually happened in the first hour of the game. You're still alive. Oh Jesus Christ! What the hell is happening? I'm now somewhere. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but basically at the beginning, you and your sister are actually like are treasure hunting,
On here.
and everything works fine. Then suddenly there's like a portal to hell spawning with like hellhounds attacking you, and your best bet is just, you know what, might as well go on. You go down there, and then there's a portal where suddenly a lich comes out or something like that, and just sucks your soul out, and then you're dead. And that's after the first hour of the game. Then you get then you get buried. They actually like they really go like they bury you like your partner and I think like your partner and somebody else, I think, like another acquaintance. And after a while, some witch doctor, the guy that was behind me, that Bones guy, came, spoke like 3 words, and bam, I was suddenly alive again. That's it. But I'm now some sort of... I'm kind of undead, because, for example, now I'm some sort of spirit world because I went to sleep. But at the same time, I didn't lose anything. I'm still can use every skill. I only lost my armor because they took it from me, but my skills and everything else is still there. So I still don't know what the bad thing is about me being undead, because I also gained some sort of demon vision or something like that.
Okay, so, to paraphrase, you were out for a nice, lovely stroll, a portal to hell opens, and instead of saying, maybe it's time to do a 180 and walk away from this, you decide, hey, let's just go into the red portal from hell, there's a bunch of dogs, and the lich is like, soul. And then you get somebody goes into hell to retrieve your corpse and then bury you, then you come back to life, and you have Freddy Krueger's dream world now.
Yeah, basically like that, more or less. Like,
What am I doing?
again, the problem is because, like you also said, is if you have guests with you, you start to lose track after a while. And like after the first half hour, I started to have Yuta as my first guest, and then I kind of started to lose track of everything, which is at the same time.
Fuck.
Okay, I guess it was just like a bad dream I just had.
Still my doctor. Maybe
And I
he
lost-
knows something.
They
Minus
should
one
have.
soul.
They should have hired these guys to do the backstory for Goat Simulator. They should have.
Oh, okay. There's like a thing I just had, like a bar, like it says neutral 64 46, and lost one is probably my class. Yeah, I'm still kind of confused about everything. I think RPGs like this are probably the worst kind of thing you could potentially stream. That's why I think also. or something. That's why I also wasn't really sure if Gothic 3 was a good idea, and after a while I started to think it is really not a good idea, because exactly this happens. You start to get distracted if you take a look at the chat. But, you know, things like Binding of Isaac or Team Fortress 2, like games where you don't have like to keep attention to like plot details or like see what quests you exactly have to do. So I think it's just a poor choice of game to stream in general.
Well, you can get away with it. Like, you know, there's a fellow on here I know, and he's been, I guess it's sponsored or whatever they call partner. He's been a partner for a while, and he can get away with almost anything. Like, he'll play Guitar Hero and he'll have viewers. Not as much as if he was playing something else, but, you know, whatever. It's like for a new streamer. Go ahead.
Well, Guitar Hero is not really one where you have to like pay attention to a plot. It's just you just play it. It's more just, I mean, more about like games where you actually have to pay attention to the plot, where you have to read things and just have to like like actually pay attention to stuff. You know, it's kind of like the Game Grumps effect, that you completely start to lose track of everything you do and then just get stuck on like things you would easily do because if you would have listened to what the hell the people are saying. But well,
right, I get where you're coming from. Basically what you're trying to say is like, you know, okay, I put X value in this as a Let's Play, and I put X value in this as a stream game. And yes, you can get you can get away with almost anything. Like, for example, I've seen people stream XCOM, and like the old XCOM, like one of the first ones, and that game is bloody well. You know, that is intrinsic. There's a lot of stuff in that, and you have to keep your eye on it. Like, you know, it's a skill. Like anything in life, you know, it's something that I really struggle because of my tunnel visioning in on games and trying to min-max everything. I have to like force myself to try and see that chat, and of course the game quality, like the viewer experience as well. Like some of these games it depends. Like if your personality is awesome and you're a really good entertainer, like I say, you can get away with almost anything. You know, and like, it depends on how you want to do. Like, for example, I think that Skype is working out pretty good. We have, you know, pretty good chemistry. You know, it's rolling. I don't think people in chat are too getting on there. You know, just sort of trying to keep an eye on it there. But yeah, so long as you
Can you teach me something?
can keep the chat, you know, sort of engaged and entertained. You know, like I said, I don't like Skype calls of like 10 people because that just becomes verbal diarrhea.
yeah, that's just doesn't work at all.
Well, yeah, it's just too many cooks in the pot. But like 1 to 2 people on Skype you can get away with, or, you know, by yourself if you're like a really good, you know, you're good at coming up with jokes and, you know, stuff like that. But like 2 people, for example, feed off of each other and stuff happens, and one person makes a joke and then the other person makes a joke. Like, it's like how Retsu Parade started, you know.
Yeah.
You know, they started as, you know, the Muppet Show, Waldorf and Waldorf and Statler. Yeah. You know, what was the best thing about this game? That it ended. Oh!
Yeah, basically both have like their own kind of personalities they bring in. Like Diabetes is the how would you say that? Like the more I wouldn't say like, you could say classy one. Slowly is more the shout. I wouldn't say shouty one. You know, he's just more like
the one has
direct.
a drier wit than the other.
Yeah, he's,
you know.
Exactly.
But you know, one of the great things about it is like they can bring in like Rich Kyanka, and it works well. And you know, like everyone has their own way of adding to it.
Yeah, it's true. They have like so many like different. They also did like different things and with others, and it's still always quite panned out quite well. There were some of them which were a bit hit and miss, but that's what in the end happens. Especially when they did as guest appraise, where most of those people were probably not that experienced at all with this kind of shtick. So you can expect things like that to fall flat a bit.
Yeah, and you know, it's all a learning game, and you know, one of the things that you might want to do is like, I think that one of the most I think the most important thing to YouTubing or streaming or anything is like structure. Like, if you want to do Gothic, but you can do Gothic. Like, for example, say it's a Gothic Sunday or Gothic Wednesday or whatever you want it to be, you know? People know that that's the game that's going to be streamed that day. They can sort of make the choice whether they want to come out or not. Mm-hmm. And then you can have more casual games, like if you want to play TF2 Tuesday, you know, for example. And by that, you get, you know, a reputation for variety, which is important if you're like, you know, you either need to make a decision of what type of streamer you're going to be. If you're going to be a constant content type, and that's usually the people who are competitive, like in the, you know, like someone is playing pro Dota or someone's playing pro whatever, right?
Yeah.
They'll stream one type of game, and that's what people will come for. Now, that's a good thing if that's what you want to do. It's a bad thing if you want to branch out because your viewers will be gone. Like, they'll just be like, you know?
Yeah, that's basically what happened to the YouTube channel when I swapped from Mario games to Gothic games. It's kind of also fun how I completely notice the difference, the change type of viewers. Like, of course, it sounds kind of almost mean, but like, of course, people who watch like stuff like Paper Mario were usually like Americans and also younger people. You can also hear that from the comments because they got way worse with the grammar. And like Gothic is really more a game that more the Europeans, the Eastern Europeans watch. So I noticed that significantly when I completely swapped to. Jesus Christ, that crap just rolled. I don't know how far. That was also
oh my god, yeah, you batted him. But I think slight mistake there in your demographics. It's not. I don't think it's like European. Like, this type of game, you could see the correlation between Dark Souls. You could see. Oh my god, that thing is rolling. But
yeah, that's the crap I meant. It's beautiful. It's like a fucking football.
But it's like you could see the correlation in that. This is a game that requires attention span. This is the thing. When you're viewing a Let's Play, you're viewing it either casually or you're invested into the story. Now, how the Let's Player or streamer presents that is going to be a huge deal to the experience. So, let's say it's almost a long play. Like, if you're looking for a long play type experience, then you're going to want someone that's consistent and doesn't over talk the game. Like, like they're going to let you read the text and it's like, oh, just press pause. No, I don't want to press pause. I want to read the text, for example. Or you could stream it casually and just do whatever, and let your personality carry the show. So there's, two distinct ways.
Yeah, it's basically whether it's more about the game or it's more about you as the caster.
Exactly, and either way works. It's been working for a long time, and there's good formulas. But like you, I have the same thing on my YouTube channel. Like I think almost every YouTube guy gets his start because he made something interesting and original on something, and then usually branches out. Like for me, it was making fun of people in Left 4 Dead. Like I made this.
This Left 4 Dead theater, or how is it called again?
Yeah, Bad Team Theater, and it was just like, just a collection of the most, oh my god, what are these guys doing on video games moments, Like, it was just like, complete lack of, anything. And it was funny to watch, and that's what I started with. But that's not actually what I started with. I started with Team Fortress 2, went to Left 4 Dead, and that's where, I made a sort of niche. And then, I'm sort of back to TF2, and I'm in and out in between, so it's, it's hard for me to sort of rebrand myself like that. Like, if I would say anything, I guess I'm a Valve game streamer or YouTuber or something like that, But for you, you play a little bit of everything. And
yeah, basically. I like at one point with like the whatchamacallit, like Let's Play for a Day, kind of tried to do something like a Total Biscuit like WTF is. So
why should I take you away?
Then you're not
Well, one of the things I think is really helpful too is to go back and look at your old stuff, the stuff that really worked,
What happened to you?
and see what type of frame of mind you were in when you're doing that. Because, like, you know, again, to, you know, quote Red to Prey, I look at some of their old stuff,
I thought the
and it's way better than their new stuff. Because in their old stuff, they didn't care about pissing people off. They didn't care about, you know,
Yeah.
Billy MC actually being a person that might actually interact with them in some way. You know, it was like, oh, Billy, go get your Big Mac. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, they
It is-
didn't care.
Yeah, that's like one thing I've always find kind of how would you say that? Like how do you say that word in English again? I can't remember it. Like, it sounded kind of two-faced from Slowik, how he's nowadays all constantly like, oh, we don't want to piss people off, etc., etc. And you know that before he actually some of the things he said he meant really legitimate. Like, I think the one thing I really remember the most is like that Play Tennis 14 guy that did like this Mario and had like this really horrible voice, did like horrible voices, and then they also figured out he was a furry, and there you could really hear like the bitterness coming from Slow. Even saying now that that was just all for good fun is kind of
Really?
yeah.
Why would you do that?
You told me.
Oh
about
yeah.
I have to admonish you because
Tell you what. Kill
this is actually, you know, this is like this is like your first stream, so I'm, you know, it's not a big thing, but yeah, like I'm doing it too. I'm not watching your chat, and I should be watching your chat because, you know, that's you see how easy it is to lose
Yeah.
the chat, you know, and I like, you know,
for a while. I'm not in a hurry to meet the.
oh man,
Yeah,
I'm
this
just,
is really like a conversation that would fit way more just in a random Skype convo than actually like in the stream.
Oh.
Because, for example, I also kind of lost the attention. Like, this is something that kind of often happens to me, that like also in Gothic 3, where like at one point I seriously like spent 30 minutes running around in a town, and
Someone went north here.
30 minutes around in a truck because I was talking to somebody about it, and I just didn't like, I did nothing in the end, like nothing productive. And the thing is, somebody actually like called it out in the chat and said like, you know what, this is gonna be really interesting for the people on YouTube to look at, because it's just you running in circles for half an hour while talking about other stuff that isn't related to the game at all.
well, this will be a great, like, I think that you'll have a really good upload to YouTube just because you had some pretty good conversations in here from what I saw with the previous person that was on here, and as well as that.
Yeah,
But, you know, like, streaming, like, it's a skill. It's absolutely a skill, and, you know, it's something that I struggle with, like, every bloody time I stream, because I have a rowdy chat. Like, I have a really rowdy chat, and they're used to me. But it could, in the same way, it could stagnate me by, you know, the new guys not coming in. And that's why, actually, when I first came in, I said, you know, just let me know and I'll hook you up with all this stuff, because it's really handy to, one, have the chat on the screen, because it makes people feel like they're a part of the experience in any VODs or YouTube uploads or anything like that. Like, you know, it makes them feel like they had a stake in it.
yeah.
And two,
Yeah, and at this
Go
very
ahead.
moment, it's just us two talking about God and the world. They just it's like basically, you know, you of course you probably know that too. Like if you're like, I don't know, have a drink with others, and you just kind of have the problem that you're just like the fifth wheel on the wagon, because they just talk about stuff you don't know or you just don't care about, and you're just sitting there like probably nodding or something like that, and just okay, and it's basically probably
well,
like,
right now, the situation is, you know, we're socializing while you poke warthogs in the butt
yes.
with a sharp stick.
The track.
The thing is also, I don't know why I'm poking those things in the butt, because I'm just currently running around aimlessly again.
Well, it's just, you know, like this is your second stream. You're doing really well for your second stream. Most streamers, when they get into this, they have 0 people watching. They're sitting there talking to themselves. So it takes, you know, real sort of force of will to be able to do that, you know. And I think, you know, you've got a great start. You just need to, like, it's just, you know, it's the stuff that everyone goes through. And like I was saying, you know, like having the new follower alert is huge, because like it pops something up, shows the person by name, and it interrupts you. It plays a sound, and you notice it, and you go, "Oh shit! Well, thanks for the follow, XXX." Right?
Yes, that's one thing I sometimes say. People go like completely, oh, subhype, OMG, blah 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 blah, etc.